Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? This must be Fort Joy. This won't be of any use.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
He shrugs and continues the game with the mirror, inspecting inside his nostrils and around the back of his knees.
Sauce? They told me I'm a sorcerer.
The child screws up his face and looks at you hard. He lifts his mirror up to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any sauce on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than outside. What, you didn't die? There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. Guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Void Woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
know you.
Thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a void woken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
My gratitude is worth a great deal, if only you'd realize it. But of course you don't, so we'll leave it at that. Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my standing here contemplating the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever foibles you seek to fix? On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out, it goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods, then gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, My Lord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
Some would see this as an omen.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused. Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes. Here lies a nameless
I've spotted
inmate.
something.
May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face. Bugger.
How on earth am I supposed to...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation! That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus,
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
why, its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull.
I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body.
I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool,
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent.
At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner, and the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm, or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory. Regardless, they are not here, but I will find them, wherever they are. I will find them. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time. Several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared, but I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. we will have our world again. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? Much magic? I was controlling the powers of the universe while your people were still doing whatever it is you used to do. What speciality would you prefer? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There's rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well. Let's be off. I've spotted it up there.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
on the shore. Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Now, where shall I put this one? Never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never.
Send us your children, your son. Our Father, who presideth over us all.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your gift, I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of...
You there, lizard? I'm looking for an inmate. A smallish man, thick spectacles, prone to somewhat eccentric chatter. He wears a large bronze pendant with a dragon stamped into it. Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a me-go. Otherwise, don't waste my time. Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already...
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Must you speak too? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. Oh, I think of them as little as possible. As much, I imagine, as you think of gadflies that buzz about you. Not that there is anything wrong with you, of course, just that you're, well, not all that impressive. That sounded dangerously close to an independent thought. How surprisingly self-aware of you. Regardless, further study will be required. In fact...
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. After a moment, he pauses and looks back to you.
Sorry, do carry on. Just act as you do in your natural environment. Simply pretend I'm not here. Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother, even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard, a dwarf, a human, any creature whose face I can procure. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier.
Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two to make a face mask. Combining several of these single face masks along with a source orb will produce a mask of the shapeshifter. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it. Trust you bloody-minded beasts to turn a child's trinket into a wicked purpose. People like you are the reason it must be recovered. I am using the mask to keep myself safe from the violence of this world. Who knows what evil it could do in the hands of some mortal witch. Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seem to have been disposed of while still wearing perfectly serviceable faces. It's a terrific waste. Still, without the proper tool to remove the face from a corpse, I cannot take advantage of the many cadavers you're providing. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know. Fear? Please. Why would I fear these creatures? It's a practical choice, nothing more. Moving through this world is so much easier when you don't have to lecture some torch-wielding lunatics on the dangers of an open flame. Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters. My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing. I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air. No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts. There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors, others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You almost look exactly like every other human out there. Just as every lizard looks like every other lizard. Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course. Well, I thought a brief swim in the sea, lying in the sun for a while, and maybe read a nice book. Or perhaps, and this is just a thought, we could find my mask and escape this wretched island. Ignorant! I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick? Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes. Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world. Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer.
I call court. Pay out. Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
at noon exactly. Didn't I?
I don't think I ain't watching.
Irma?
That's your big
Where are you, darling?
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Irma? Where are you, darling?
A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cuckoo, that one, and twice as loud. What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after's been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a void woken back in our own village. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart? Please, I'm sorry, but you must leave. My baby's terrified of lizards. She may be hiding from you even now. Irma? Irma, darling, are you here? Please, sweetheart. Where are you? I'm sorry, but you have to go. What if you've scared her off? What if she never comes home? Oh, Irma!
That's it. I call court. Pay
Irma? Where are you, darling? Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. She was here. I only turned away for a moment. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her, my little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. You are an angel. Truly you are.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
That's your fifth blue chest to this road.
What of it?
Yeah, what of it? Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both
I'm
of
not
you.
mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart.
Don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
No, just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't
The
beat
woman
you.
is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me. You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me. Ugh! It won't budge. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
She breathes deeply into the pouch and begins to calm.
Thank you.
Just to this road.
What of it?
Yeah, what of it?
Ah,
grab it in your
you. Thank you for your help earlier. I needed it. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't talked me down.
Little respect
It's
for
too-
Drift's right hand,
it's-
Topsy.
Ah, you.
right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
know about.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods. Smell.
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
But why? When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sources? Why hasn't Alexander risen here?
This again?
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group affair. I only need one. In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested? Atta girl. Who wouldn't? Finally, someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. And how many would make it before the guards noticed? 4? 5? Every bloody sorcerer in this place? Nah, they'll have to take their own chances. I'll need one accomplice, no more. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. I'm glad you're of such a mind. I never was one for gore myself, but never mind. I've got the plan and you've got the brawn. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for.
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
junk.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead. 1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears. Oh, make the hinges rust.
The kin's brow knits together, then apart and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts and doesn't look up as you approach.
What? Oh, kin. New, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself at home. Recognize you? Of course I recognize you. You're the Red Prince. That's about as obvious as a very obvious thing. Your point? My mind? What else, kin? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? Where's that, then? The egg? We'll go back to the egg. Naturally. How could one not? We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this. I fear it will be quite some time before we find any answers at all, my friend. Though it doesn't hurt to ponder. Goods? Ah, yes, yes, of course. Have a look.
got that special shipment he was asking after.
What's your directions, please? Engines rust.
Perhaps you guys are bleeding dwarves didn't need so much.
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead.
Everything there?
1,000
Good.
bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears. Engines rust.
Ain't fit for beasts. When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sorcerers left? Yet so quickly we find source so dangerous. What in his death caused it? So Voidwoken are attracted to source. But why? When another